Open pit mining company Afrimat today reported a 17% increase in headline earnings per share to 62.6 cents for the year ending February. The group manufactures cast concrete products such as kerbsides and sells Readymix concrete. Afrimat has a market cap of 830 million rand and a price to earnings ratio of 10. Janine, it's quite interesting. This company's made 2 acquisitions over the last period, and we've seen these acquisitions actually working in their favour. What is your sense with regards to Afrimat that is starting to make headway in various divisions, but Readymix still seems to be one of those weak points for the company?
The Readymix actually showed a turnaround for the year.
But still weak in the Western Cape.
In the Western Cape there's a turnaround as well. What's been happening in terms of the Readymix division is that they mainly operate in the rural areas where the low-cost housing is. So it has lagged for some time because of the Western Cape market not doing well, and then because of low-cost housing it's not a sustainable business, because you start building and then government doesn't pay, and then it's a stop start. So they've actually seen an upturn in the Western Cape and good turnover in terms of low-cost housing as well. So from last year's margin of 1% for Readymix, they reported a 4.9% operating margin for Readymix, which, if you look at it in perspective of the whole sector, it's not a bad margin to be had at the moment with overcapacity and nothing really happening in the industry.
Glenn Douglas Dolomite and the Clinker Group, those two acquisitions I was alluding to. Clinker Group is quite interesting because it gives them a great competitive edge. It's something that's quite rare. You know all about Clinker, don't you,
No,
Paul?
I prefer talking about the Dolomite mine.
Yes,
because the Dolomite mine is down in Vereeniging, and they basically dig this stuff up. It's an alternative for limestone. They sell it to ArcelorMittal at Steelworks in Vanderbijl. So, I mean, that was an interesting acquisition because they stepped out of their traditional base. But I think what's happening here is Andries van Heerden, the CEO, has really embellished his record in recent years, because it listed quite late in the small cap listings boom of 06, 07, 08. Then it flew higher because everybody was loving all of these small cap type construction related stocks. Then it had earnings disappointment, which didn't in fact line up with its prospectus, and everybody was hating on them. But it's quietly gone on delivering. It recovered quite quickly. So the old Prima Lancaster businesses are being well managed. The Clinker thing, they can add that in. So he clearly knows what he's doing, and they're beginning to develop an institutional following. So it could be one of those little companies that in the years ahead really gains traction and becomes a big player.
And actually they're looking for more acquisitions if the right opportunity comes along.
If the right opportunity comes along, yes. I think management is very strategic in their acquisitions. If you look at the acquisitions that they made, it's not really normal quarries, building quarries like the other construction materials companies made, and that's where I think that differentiates them from their peers.
Hot or not for you, Janine?
I think it's hot. I think that the historic business, the Lancaster and Prima business, might be lagging because of the market, but I think they made acquisitions at exactly the right time to make sure that there is a constant positive trend in earnings as well.
Paul, hot or not, Afrimat?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, at 800 odd million rand market cap, it's pretty small in my opinion, and maybe a little fresh. But like I say, you do want to
just like the older companies,
have a bit of a 10-bagger opportunity in your portfolio. So maybe this one. I think I need to do what Janine does and actually go and meet with the management here, because if they're going to pull this off and become a real big player, it's going to come down to the talent of the team.
It's interesting, just last note on Afrimat, Clinker Group is only going to last. I mean, they've only got around 10 years worth of clinker left, so just an aside there.